Hey guys, so I want to apologize. It has taken me forever to get this video, and I also know the lighting's not the best. But this is Rodney Alcala, part 4. It is the final part, I promise. So, let's get into it. So in the last video, I ended with the previous victims that we know of, the 4 women, and the fact that there were 2 pairs of earrings in Rodney Alcala's storage locker in Seattle. One pair belonging to Robin Samso, the young girl they found decomposing like 12 days after she went missing, and one pair with DNA that matched Charlotte Lamb. She was the woman who was raped and strangled and left in the laundry room of her apartment complex. So that's where we ended. So now we are in between the second and third trials of Rodney Alcala. During that period, between the second and third trials for Rodney Alcala, he wrote a book. Yes, he actually wrote a book. It's called You the Jury. He claims in this book that he's innocent and suggests a completely different suspect. So, I kind of want to read this book. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I don't know if that's weird or not. He also filed 2 lawsuits against the California penal system during this time. Let me tell you, he is so stupid, because if you file a lawsuit against the California penal system, or any penal system for that matter, you're probably not going to win. So, the 2 he filed, one was for a slip and fall incident. That's it. It was a slip and fall incident. I'm not even sure he was injured. He just slipped and he fell, and he filed a lawsuit. The other one was refusing to provide him with a low-fat diet. Needless to say, they didn't go through, nothing happened, nothing changed. So, in 2003, prosecutors entered a motion to join the Samso charges with those of the 4 newly discovered victims. So instead of being charged on 1 count of murder, he'd be charged on 5. Also, I don't think they just wanted to do a trial just for Robin Samso and just a trial for the other 4, so they just decided to join them all. Alcala's attorneys did not approve. This is what one of his attorneys said. And I quote, "If you're a juror and you hear one murder case, you may be able to have reasonable doubt. But it's very hard to say you have reasonable doubt on all 5. Especially when 4 of the 5 aren't alleged by eyewitnesses but are proven by DNA matches." End quote. I don't know about you, but that confuses me so much. I don't even understand what he's trying to say. I think he's trying to say that they can have reasonable doubt for the Robin Samso murder, but they can't have reasonable doubt for the other 4 because it's DNA. If you have another explanation, comment it below and I will get to it. Maybe you can explain it to me. So, in 2006, the California Supreme Court ruled in the prosecution's favor and joined all the 5 charges. 4 years later, Alcala stood trial for all 5 murder charges. And in the 3rd trial, he acted as his own attorney. Okay, let me just say something. Bundy acted as his own attorney. Bundy got the penalty. Literally the worst charge. He could not have done worse. He could have hired a monkey, and the monkey could have pooped in the lap of every single juror and the judge, and then thrown poop at the audience, and he probably would not have gotten the death penalty. So why do criminals keep acting as their own attorney and it never ends well for them? It really never does. Anyway, Alcala took the stand in his own defense, and for 5 hours, he acted as both interrogator and witness. So he was asking himself questions, addressing himself as Mr. Alcala in a deeper than normal voice, and then answering them in his normal voice. 5 hours. That's crazy to me. Okay, so he provided an alibi for the Samso kidnapping. So he said that when Samso was kidnapped and murdered, he was at Knott's Berry Farm applying for a position as a photographer. Then, he played a clip from when he was on the dating game, trying to prove that the earrings they found that were Samso's belonged to him, not Samso. But we know that the earrings did belong to Samso. He took a trophy, because he also took a trophy off of Charlotte Lamb. So, Jed Mills, the actor who competed against Alcala in the dating game, told a reporter, and I quote, "I have never seen a man with an earring in his ear. I would have noticed them on him." End quote. Now, this was in 1978. So this is 32 years later in 2010. In 1978, earrings were not yet socially acceptable on men. So this is why Jed Mills said he would have noticed them. It's because they weren't socially acceptable and he had never seen a man wearing them. So, Alcala made no attempt to dispute the 4 new charges, the 4 other women, other than to say he did not remember killing them. As part of his closing argument in his 3rd trial when he acted as his own attorney, he plays the song Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Guthrie. I have never even heard of this song. I've never heard of Arlo Guthrie. But he played it because in that song, the protagonist tells the psychiatrist that she wants to kill. I don't know what he was thinking. I think he's just stupid. And he didn't know what else to say. I really think that's what it was. Now I don't know because I'm not Rodney Alcala. But after less than 2 days of deliberation, he was convicted of all 5 counts of first-degree murder. So for those of you that don't know, first-degree murder means premeditated. Second degree is not premeditated, I believe. I might have those mixed up. So don't quote me. Look it up. But I'm pretty sure first degree is premeditated. I get them mixed up sometimes. Okay. There was a surprise witness during the penalty phase of the trial. That witness was Tali Shapiro. So if you don't remember, Tali Shapiro was a girl that he raped and abused. And the cops were called and they found her alive. But Rodney Alcala had escaped. And then her father relocated the whole family to Mexico. And they wouldn't let her go into court. So they weren't able to charge him for molestation. So anyway, Alcala claimed he didn't remember committing the murders, and Richard Rappaport, a psychiatrist, claimed that the borderline personality disorder that he had been diagnosed with could be the cause of that. I don't think that's true. Borderline personality disorder, I don't think causes memory loss of any kind, but I don't know. Now, the prosecutor argued that Alcala was, and I quote, a sexual predator who knew what he was doing was wrong, and didn't care. End quote. So, a psychiatrist is saying, he didn't know what was wrong. He doesn't remember the murders. It's not his fault. The prosecutor says he did know what he was doing. He did know what was wrong. He just didn't care. And I gotta say, I'm kind of siding with the prosecution here. But I wasn't alive during this. Well, no, I was alive during this part. I wasn't alive during the first 2 trials. I don't think. Because I don't remember when the second trial took place. You'd have to go back and look at my other videos. Anyway, in March 2010, Alcala was sentenced to death again. This would be the 3rd time he was sentenced to death. Because he kept getting stuff appealed. Okay. In January 2011, a Manhattan grand jury indicted him for the murders of Cornelia Criley. She was a TWA flight attendant. And Ellen Hoover, the Ciro's heiress. And that was in 1971 and 1977, respectively. Those are the murders, when the murders took place. Cornelia Criley in 1971 and Ellen Hoover in 1977. So if you remember, I did talk about them. Ciro's was a nightclub. And I believe she was the only heir. Ellen Hoover was. So in June 2012, he was extradited to New York where he pled not guilty on both counts. In December of the same year, 2012, he changed both pleas to guilty, citing a desire to return to California to pursue appeals in his death penalty conviction. That did not happen. He did not appeal his death penalty conviction. He was on death row. On January 7th, 2013, a Manhattan judge, so he's still in Manhattan, New York, a Manhattan judge sentenced Alcala to an additional 25 years to life because the death penalty has not been an option in New York since 2007. When they said it was inhumane. Why? I don't know. If you kill somebody, you should be killed. An eye for an eye. Tooth for a tooth. Arm for an arm. However you want to say it. I say an eye for an eye. I think if you kill a person, then you have the right to have your life taken away. You take the life of somebody else, your life can now be taken away. That's just me. Anyway, so Alcala kept his death penalty conviction. He was convicted to another 25 years to life, and he died of unspecified natural causes in Corcoran, California on July 24th, 2021 at the age of 77. He was on death row when he died. But a lot of death row inmates will hang themselves or make a toothbrush into a shiv and kill themselves or, whatever. He did not. He died of unspecified natural causes. He was just old, I guess. Again, I don't know. It was unspecified. They didn't tell me anything else. That is how the story ends, with Rodney Alcala dying. Maybe peacefully. I couldn't tell you. I don't know Rodney Alcala personally, though I would have loved to meet him and talk to him about his craziness. But I sadly cannot. Anyway, that is the end of Rodney Alcala. Finally, we made it, you guys. We made it. I will probably take a little bit of a break while I do research. Ted Bundy will probably be next. Because again, I want to go in as much alphabetical order as possible, doing last names. So yes, Ted Bundy is next. I will still be uploading videos, just not of Ted Bundy. They'll be about my loom knitting. I did finish my other panel. This is my newest panel. And so I will probably be showing you the updates on this. When I get the 3 previous panels put together, I will show you those. And I want to start making candles. So when I get the wick stuff for that, I need the stickers, the metal parts, the actual wicks, and then the wick stabilizers. I got some jars. I need labels that I can write on. I need Sharpies that I can write with. I need more. I only have a couple jars. And then I need the wicks. So once I get all that stuff, I will update you guys on that as well. I am currently melting some wax from a candle that burned out to make my own wax melt. I'm very excited about it. It is in my friend's ice cube tray. And when I say friend's ice cube tray, I mean friends themed. It's the frame around Monica's peephole in the TV show Friends. So yeah. So when I get my candle stuff, I will let you guys know, and I will tell you how that goes. So, let me know what you think of Rodney Alcala. I'm sorry, you will probably have to go back and watch the other videos to get all the information. Just watch them all in a row. I am sorry that there are 4 parts. But thank you guys so much for sticking with me through this. And I'm excited to keep going. Hopefully these videos will reach a broader audience and I can expand and reach more people and educate more people about serial killers because I find them to be interesting. But I love you guys so much, and I will see y'all in the next video.